Up front, did y'all know I was giving these away on my Instagram until this date right here? Link in the description if you didn't see that. Also, while I'm notifying y'all of things, I'm starting in this mode, but I'm going to do the transformation as they came packaged, so don't worry about that for the people that are anal, and I know it's a ton of you out there.
T-Man 978 Chill Review.
Hello everyone, T-Man 978. Right now we're going to be doing a chill comparison review against Transformers Generations Thrilling 30 Voyager Class Rhinox that was released in 2014, up against Transformers Generations War for Cybertron Trilogy Kingdom Voyager Class Rhinox, released this year, 2021. So, let's get into it. Starting with the Thrilling 30, as you can see, they didn't go for a cartoon accurate beast mode. They went for a more realistic rhinoceros right here. One thing that keeps happening is these don't want to stay in the place, so they only like stay in the place when you have it sitting down. This rear panel right here is made out of a very pliable plastic. And yeah, you can see that the sculpting and whatnot was trying to be super authentic to a rhinoceros. And look at the eye. The eye is black. You see the horn is kind of connected together. And the ears, they look like they rotate and they're made out of a pliable material, but they aren't. As far as articulation, the jaw kind of more dislocates than really opens because of the way it transforms. The arms can come forward, breaking up the sculpt a little bit, and they can go back. It can't really go out to the side, but this rotates and it can like bend inward. The rear legs go back like that, but it definitely breaks up everything, breaks up the whole illusion, and kind of untransforms itself, as you can see. On the bottom, it has that storage for its weapon right there. So, yeah. So, there that is. Now this, the Kingdom Rhinox, they try to be more realistic with the beast modes, but for me, this looks less realistic than that rhino back there. I mean, the mouth is better, and it's actually, the tongue is actually painted in there. You can't really see, there we go. Mouth is painted. It has red eyes, which I don't believe is accurate to a real rhino. But just like this one, it pretty much looks like a full-on rhino all the way around. Like better than any of the other beast modes. But it does have waffles in the back of the legs, which there is no waffling here. Maybe, I'm not going to say none, but it's just there. The whole thing is waffly right there. And here's the articulation for this. You can do that. And they can go in like this. Here's the sculpting on the weird tail. And the forearms or forelimbs, they can do this and that. And they bend inward as well, just like that one. But the green is on, it's on the back and on the inside. Here it's just on the back. But just the sculpting on the Thrilling 31 looks way more like a realistic animal. Like even the ears and whatnot. This just looks like a stylized child's toy, to be blunt with you. And he has more visible robot stuff going on right here, unfortunately. So there's that. Here's the bottom of it. Weapon storage down there as well. And there's definitely more robots showing on the new figure. Here's Thrilling 30 Rhinox with the beast cast we have so far as the Maximal. What manner of place is this? And let's just, grab him, slide him off to the side, and do that instead of me cutting away and editing. But that's what he looks like next to them. Yay, yay, scale. Okay, transformation. This one's fairly easy. I'm gonna take the guns out, the hands. Come on. Then we can go ahead and put these over top of each other like that. Then we can go ahead and move these inward like that. Put that to the side. The hands, you can open that up. Put the hand in there. Rotate it like that. Open this up, put the hand in, rotate it like that. Now, this is already coming apart anyway, because like I said, it doesn't really stay. Well, at least I'm going to say that in robot mode. Anywho, we can lift this up off his back, unpeg that. Go ahead and lift this all up. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to turn his head that way. Leave everything like this for now. The crotch, he almost would have an ab crunch right here, but yeah, no. You can bring that out and rotate it this way. The shoulders need to come up here and here, and we can get that lined up. It's going to keep coming apart while we're doing all this. Well, basically, here's the main thing you need to do. This shin guard lifts up on a hinge right here, a double hinge. Once you do that, we can put this foot in there. I'm going to do the same thing over here. Lift this shin up, put that over there. And basically, we need to line this up right here. Line that up right there. Get the legs properly bent. I always forget that needs to lift up right there, the crotch thing. Lift up so that we can overlap this into here. And start pegging stuff into there. Lift this up and overlap this into this peg while pegging this stuff in right here. And now we can bring this down and shove this little tab up there and wrap this up under there. This part I should have done ahead of time, and one step I didn't show, this crotch panel, fold that up like that. I went ahead and opened these side panels right here, and now the guns, I'm going to take this, and you see how this pointier part, it's like flat, and then it's not flat right there. This sticks out. I'm going to keep things like this and basically shove this into this open area right there. And if you do it right there, they clip around that. Those, the green bars right there. So now that we have that in there, we can go ahead and bring this back down and move this peg back into place. Move this back down and put the peg back into place. Go around it, make sure everything is smooth, everything's in place, and boom, there you go with that. Now this other nightmare, transformation on Kingdom Rhinox. We're gonna take the weapons out of his hand, go ahead and overlap them in such a way that both handles are in the same place. Put that to the side. The top part of this body, simple. You can bring this forward, shut this so that it will go in here. Now we're going to kind of like lift this up. What I'm going to do is bring this mouth back up. If you actually did it like I did it, bring that up. The hands, open this panel, push this in, and it kind of scrapes against that, which, yeah, I don't like. It's a lot of scraping against stuff with this figure. Rotate that this way, rotate that way. Now, turn his head around. Kind of like lift this up, and the shoulders bend inward this way, while we can turn that this way so that it can go up underneath of the rhino body. Like that. Now this should be over that. And this can come over the head so we can have a lot of space right here. Now down here, this is the tricky part. Open this. Open that. And look at that. There's mechanical detail like put in there. Oof. You can bend this knee, lift this up like that. Take this foot, rotate that this way, rotate it up, and then this little tiny tab right there goes into a little, this groove right here. We'll do that, lift that up, put that in there. This is tough as crap coming back from beast mode. Now we can lift this up, untab this, and kind of move that around there and put this into there. I'm going to try that over here again. Making sure you're only bending the lower knee. We'll bend that down and we can lift this up. Go ahead and bring the foot down, bring it up, and then shut it back into its position so to get into that groove right there. Okay, move this up, unpeg this, which will be the part of the back of the rhino. Now we can lift this up. And which way does it rotate? I'm going to put it like that for now. Lift this up, rotate it. And now we can bend. What we need to do is get the foot up under there. So get that up under here. We'll get it like that. And once we have things into this position, we can go ahead and move this joint down, which will need to like kind of rotate outward like this. Remember this, while you have it like this, you have unpeg this, lift this like out that way. This is the first thing you need to do getting it back. Remember that. But now we can move this down into place and kind of peg this over that while pegging everything else into place. But before we keep messing with that, I'm gonna try to get this down, get this kind of in place, and move this stuff, move that foot underneath of there. Now this is a whole big cluster. I'm gonna try to speak on this after I get it together, but move this down, make sure that that's not rubbing, plug this back in together if it's unplugged itself, and scoop this around there. It's like unavoidable as far as the rubbish. But shut the back, and now we can shut this on top of the pegs right here. And you know what I didn't do? I didn't tab this into there. But basically, get this stuff back down and tab the butt back together. And the legs are in the right place. Have this down. And I'm gonna just go around trying to make these panels as best as I can. Okay, I'm going to complain about this transformation. These things are usually like ages 8 and up. They don't make them for the really, really small kids. These are like more advanced. Even an 8-year-old would have a great amount of difficulty with this right here. Now, in all reality, these characters are over 25. They're like 25 years old. This is aimed towards more adult collectors, but they want to sell them to kids. I can imagine an 8-year-old having a problem with this every single time, because I had a problem. This is like my 4th time transforming this thing, because I wanted to try to get it right, but you see what happened, and oh no. All that, and I forgot to put the guns in again. Well, basically, these 2 pegs right here, they need to plug into these 2 parts of the legs with the guns pointing down. There might be enough room for me to do this. Yeah, once you get it into one side, you can go ahead and plug in the other side and just make sure the body comes together. But here you are with his robot mode. But here you are with his Rhino mode. And here they both are in their robot modes. And as you can see, they both are big and beefy robots. Look very, very armored and strong, possibly. This one has a lighter green. This one has a darker green. Now, in the cartoon, both of them had a more brown hide to the Rhino, but neither one of them share this. The Japanese version of this did have that, so I imagine if they do some updated premium Japanese color scheme, this one will be brown, and it will cost $50. And I won't buy it. But anywho, the Thrilling 31 to me looks more like the G1 Beast Wars cartoon. And let's just look at him first. Number 1, the jaw on the robot becomes the real chest. The face, I think, is spot on. He does feature Maximal logos on his head right there, too. And they are uneven or asymmetrical. I think that was something that used to bug me. Head is on a ball joint. You can look up that much and look around. Tilt a little bit side to side and whatnot. But as you can see, he gets real thin in the waist area before he gets bulky again in the legs. From the side, he's still a big, bulky dude looking like he's just wearing a Rhino as armor. And here we do see some waffling right there in the back of the legs. So, but the back is mostly still all covered. You got this going on right here. So he is thin right there besides his back armor. And you see the teeth right there in the Rhino. And yeah, and they went with gestury hands that do not rotate. Back, I think when Transformers Animated came out, they started really going into the dynamic gestury hands. But they decided to change that during Combiner Wars, as far as figures. Now let's get into the new guy from Kingdom. He does not feature any Maximal logos at all. His head is also on a ball joint. He can look up that much. Tilt a tiny taste and rotate the head 360. But he doesn't have any wrist swivel either. And we're gonna get into the articulation. Pretty much the same profile, but we got some gappage right there. This armor, I don't know if it needs to move, but it can do this. And he looks kind of a wreck back there. I can't describe it. Compared to the Thrilling 31, this definitely feels like it really fits into the G1 vehicles instead of like the Beast Wars aesthetic. It really feels like it's a part of everything going on as far as Kingdom, more than this. This straight up feels like they were going for almost masterpiece level Beast Wars, whereas this guy feels like something that would have come out during G1, where you do get some rounded nature to his armor parts, but it's still flat and whatnot, and that gives him this. And I assume these ports right there should be compatible with the backpacks and whatnot. Let me try that. Well, I'm not going to break open a weaponizer, but I just wanted to see if a 5mm peg. So if you have weaponizers, you should be able to put some on his back at least. And right here, he has nothing in the center. And he does have these two right here. And here are his weapons. His weapons are the, you know, the Gatling saw blades right there. So I guess he can saw you up while shooting at the same time. And it looks like this on the side. It has this smaller peg right here. You can just store these on his back when you don't want to use them. So we got that going for us. And it's looking like some of this freaking paint is rubbing off on there. But in the hand, let's show you that. From the front, they're good. It looks like what you saw in the show. From the side, it looks like he's holding some type of weird pizza cutters. And let's get into the thrilling 30s version. These actually have mechanics and they actually transform. This is brand new for me. On camera, look at that. But his looks like this is not, it's painted, but there is no silver on it. That's probably a little bit more cartoon accurate. But the mechanics is you push this scope right there, and they actually do rotate. So I've always had fun doing that. And his gun is more substantial and looks like a real engine and whatnot. Unfortunately for this guy, my problem that I've always had is because of these fingers. Look at that. The fingers come out further than the open gap area. I mean, wow, what the heck? I've had this thing for years. I've never had these popping off until I start filming. Since it does rotate or bend right there at the handle, you can rotate it like that to get his fingers back there. But typically I would put it around the fingers. Come on, bruh. Typically what I would do is put it over the fingers. And yeah, just try to get it on there the best you could, basically. But it is still fun to do this. And if you're wondering, if you have both of these, since his fists are shut and this peg is very thick, we don't have to worry about that on these hands. So if you wanted to let him inherit these guns, there you go with that. There's always an option. Now, I can't remember any official storage for robot mode, but you are able to peg these into the back of his arms because he does have 5mm pegs right there. But let's get into this other articulation besides the neck. The shoulders can go out like that, 90 degrees, above 90 degrees really. And if you want, you can utilize that joint to do even more. It's swivel. The elbows bend less than 90 degrees and swivel right there at the bottom, right above the elbow. And this pulls down to give him longer arms, but it doesn't stick, like I said, in Rhino mode. These also don't like latch into place anywhere, so that's constantly moving. And of course you have basically nothing at the wrist. The waist swivel does that, but it knocks into his little crotch skirt because the waist is really under here. The hips go all the way out 90, kick up above 90, go back above 90, rotate at the thigh, the knees bend less than 90 degrees, and it actually has ankle pivot for something that came out over 6 years ago. So isn't that awesome? I think it's awesome. The toe goes up, the toe is painted, and I could see the paint starting to rub off on the toe. One notorious thing for this figure, these knees are trash. They're on by a pin and not a screw, so you can't even tighten it, and that's notorious for every single one of these. In fact, when I was getting them standing straight up, I had to finagle and kind of twist that to get them to stay like that. In fact, when you try to get his legs straight, it kind of bumps into his armor plating right there, so that doesn't help either. But yeah, if it wasn't for the freaking knees, I probably would have very much loved this thing more than I did back in the day. But as it stands, this is still a good, competent figure, even with those knees. Now this one, he has a little bit more articulation, amazingly. I showed the head and whatnot, but because of the way this thing transforms, it actually has a butterfly joint forward and backwards. So I think that's probably intentional. I noticed that with these newer figures, they're trying to add more articulation when they can. Like, I noticed some of them have purposeful ab crunch. I see that's coming out for the new Wreck-Gar. The arm goes out to there, but just like the Thrilling 30 dude, these pins are not that great for his shoulders. So that's aggravating. Same articulation right here. And it's just getting 90 degrees up. Even the arm slopes down, but the hand is still straight. So, that's up to you to decide whether that's a 90-degree bend or not. It has an actual waist right there. The crotch flap is actually a part of his crotch. So it does that for bumping. Can kick forward 90 degrees, kick back and out to the side slightly more than 90. You get a swivel above or at the bottom of the thigh. I showed these move. The knees bend 90 degrees on that one, but it actually has a double jointed knee. So there you are with that. The toe or the foot actually has ankle pivot that does all that. So that's better. The toe can go back and it can come forward, but it comes forward at an angle because of this piece right there. If that wasn't there, it would have more full-on ankle articulation. I mean, but this is still good. The knees, I'm not gonna, this lower joint is a little bit tighter than that, but it's not the tightest. And I wanted to mention something. I made his mouth open right here because this jaw is supposed to be the lower jaw of the Rhino. I don't see anybody else doing that, but I guess officially it's supposed to be transformed like that. But I don't like that. I want it to look as much like the old cartoon as possible. But when it comes to stability and whatnot, this doesn't latch into place, just like none of this stuff. No, this actually latches better. It actually snaps in two spots, like on the bottom, to keep this bottom part up and up here. But these don't stay latched in place, and these knees are aggravating as crap. This guy's downside is, like I was saying, there should have been some type of ratcheting system for that. And did I show this? But he does have that motion right there. So, yeah, I think I am an articulation nut, and I definitely like stability with my action figures. And you saw me having clearance issues with trying to move that around, so that'll be frustrating. At the end of the day, robot motor, this one's tough. I like the way the Thrilling 30 looks more, but as far as it coming together as a full-on robotic posable experience, I find myself having more fun with the new version. And this is the one that's on the shelves now, so who cares about the old one? But I guess it was fun for you to see this comparison. But anywho, I don't know. If you got this one and you found a way to make the knees tight, I can't say rush out and get the new one. I mean, they're both really, really good, and they're highly comparable to each other, as you can see. But, yeah, if you don't have the knees tight on yours, this one can be, you know what's happening? These are weighing him down. But he still has weak knees regardless. But yeah, both of these are good. Can't super complain about both of them. You just have to look at what these come with, how they transform, and what you get with both of them. Let me know in the comments which one you like better. I almost ended this video without comparing them to the robot modes of other people. Alright, here are these folks right here. Well, that's what you're working with. Rat Trap should probably be taller, but everybody else pretty much lines up, I guess. Here's Kingdom Rhinox. Anywho, thank y'all for watching this. Thank you, Kevin Womack. He picked this up for me. He found it. And now I was able to bring you this review. Until next time, T-Man 978 out of here. Click the videos. Click the videos, baby. Click the videos. You should really click these videos. Click the videos. Click those videos, baby. Click the videos. You really should.